Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Cecily Tynan, Phil Andrews, and Rob Jennings.
Saturday night, the big story in Action News is the first real snowfall of the winter of '97. It started falling this morning, big, fat, wet flakes that brought out a sea of protective umbrellas. The snow came down steadily throughout the day, but hasn't been as much of a travel disruption as snowstorms we've seen in the past, not by a long shot. But will that be the case throughout this evening? To check in on current conditions, we have Action News crews all around the viewing area. Delaware correspondent Lauren Wilson standing by live in Wilmington. Kristen Z on the New Jersey Turnpike in Gloucester County. Matt O'Donnell with a situation in Philadelphia's Chestnut Hill section. We'll hear from all of them in a series of live reports. But first, out live to Cecily Tynan on City Avenue in Philadelphia with details from AccuWeather. Cecily?
That's right, Rob. You know, this is one of those nights, if you don't have to go outside, don't. I haven't had to say that yet this year, but temperatures are dropping into the 20s. The roads are getting very icy, and the National Weather Service has extended the winter weather advisory for the Delaware Valley and winter storm warnings. Where you see the white, that's where we have the advisories around Philadelphia, areas north and west, also central New Jersey, but all areas south and east of Philadelphia are under winter storm warnings because that's where the heaviest snow is concentrated, and it continues coming down and will be doing so for about the next 6 hours. Action radar showing the storm system. It's moving very slowly. The center of the storm is actually off the coast of the Carolinas, working up toward the northeast, but it's crawling, so that's why we expect probably until midnight, until some drier air can move in. It's going to be snowing heavy at times. You can see how we're not talking about rain at all. The rain well down to the south. The snow is what we're looking at because temperatures, as I mentioned, are dropping into the 20s. Now, let's check out the situation live on Sky 6, I believe, and see what we have falling from the sky. It is, in fact, snow, and most of the major roadways not too bad, but they're getting worse. It's getting very slushy, and as you can see, people are taking it very slowly. The snowfall accumulations predicted have not changed from last night at 11. As we predicted, north and west of Philadelphia, Philadelphia itself should be getting about 2 to 4 inches of snow. But Delaware and southern New Jersey, we're looking at about 6 to 10 inches. And this means that a lot of folks are going to be using the snow blowers and the shovels for the first time this year, probably tomorrow morning. Then we'll see what the second half of the weekend has in store for us and check out the possibility of more snow next week coming up in the AccuWeather 5-day forecast. Rob?
Thank you, Cecily. Now let's get to the area getting hardest hit tonight. Delaware correspondent Lauren Wilson's in Wilmington. Lauren?
Rob, it's been snowing steadily for well over an hour now here in Delaware, and as you said, Delaware is expected to get walloped by this storm. What started out as some flurries this morning just hasn't let up. It's been a picture-perfect snowfall all day. This old wooden-covered bridge surrounded by winter white trees is on Brackenville Road in North Wilmington. But here's a drastically different picture of Delaware's highways. Driving conditions are less than perfect, but all things considered, they could be worse. Work crews got an early start, and with 14,000 tons of salt on hand, there's no fear that supplies will run out. Main highways remain wet most of the day with some slick spots. Secondary roads are a different story. They are already slick, no match for cars or even the Action News van. Still, DelDOT officials say their main concern for the first state will be tonight.
Temperatures are going to be dropping, so with the temperatures dropping, all of this is going to freeze. As long as we can get a layer of salt on everything, it'll pretty much stay fluid. It's not going to get really that cold, but it'll get into the high 20s, which it's still going to freeze up if we don't get salt on it.
Vincent Ruff is advising drivers to stay in tonight if you can. By the way, we got out of that ditch thanks to our friends at DelDOT. One more thing, the city of Wilmington has issued a code purple alert. That means officials will be making every effort to get the homeless people off of the streets tonight. I'm Lauren Wilson reporting live on the Action Cam in Wilmington.
Thank you, Lauren. Now from Delaware, we move to New Jersey. The Action Cam now live on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. Let's take a look. Not a lot of people walking on the boardwalk this Saturday night, although a few people are venturing out. We see a light dusting of snow on the boardwalk here. Now remember that this is one area. The Jersey Shore is supposed to get between 6 and 10 inches of snow before all this is over. Now, light snow falling all day in Trenton has not amounted to that much on the ground today. The flakes were basically a nuisance for people taking a walk here on East State Street. The snow did cover some sidewalks in the Garden State Capitol, and for a few people, it was just enough to break out the brooms and the shovels. Standing by live now in Woolwich Township, New Jersey, Action News reporter Kristen Z. Kristen?
Rob, what a difference 20 miles make. We are now at exit 2 of the New Jersey Turnpike, and you can see how heavy the snow is coming down. But we drove down here from Cherry Hill, exit 4, and back there the snow was not nearly as heavy, and the roads were a lot clearer and easier to drive on. As a result, New Jersey Turnpike authorities have made the speed limit 35 miles per hour, everything south of exit 3, and north of exit 3 it is 45 miles per hour. Obviously those numbers are changing as conditions change, and right now let's show you how some of the folks in South Jersey are dealing with the storm. For these children in Cherry Hill, today's snow is the best thing that's happened to them in a long time. Several inches of accumulation is enough for them to sled and snowboard in this neighborhood park. What do y'all think about the snow?
Love it.
Awesome. Okay. Adults don't seem to be having as much fun, though. Many say they're out of practice when it comes to shoveling or brushing snow off their cars. But the driving is okay, at least for now. Unsalted residential streets have a light coating of snow. Major streets like Route 70 and the New Jersey Turnpike are wet, but otherwise no problem.
The roads aren't too bad, but the windshield wiper's broken, and we just needed to replace it because we're heading over to Philly. We couldn't see out the windshield.
Despite the whiteout, most folks are doing what they normally do, including grocery shopping. Some of them say the snow is an inconvenience, but not unbearable.
I don't mind this because it's really not that cold, and I kind of like this snow, but when it's cold and bitter and freezy, I want to stay in the house.
I was very surprised when I seen the snow coming down.
Why?
I thought we were done. I thought we were ready for spring.
Now back here live, you can see just how slushy some of the roads are becoming at this time. And obviously, this may have the danger of becoming very slippery tonight when it becomes colder, when you might find icy spots all over the place. So right now, you know, the conditions are already varying depending where you are. And if you're going to be traveling, be wary of that and know that when you go someplace else, it could be quite different from where you started from. And that is the latest situation from here. Reporting live in the Action Cam, I'm Kristen Z in Woolwich Township, New Jersey.
Good advice, Kristen. Thanks very much. Now to Matt O'Donnell, who's live in Chestnut Hill. Matt?
Rob, basically it was a good day for winter fun, bad day for winter procrastinators. If you thought you were going to make it through winter without having to replace that broken shovel or having to own one at all, you might have gone to the hardware store today. You're the proud owner of a shovel?
Yes, I am. We don't have to borrow one this snow. We have our own shovel now.
Because of people like Elaine Steinhoff, the owner of this hardware store on Germantown Avenue, says he's a happy man.
They're waiting for the last moment. They didn't think they'd need it. I think they'd get through the winter without it.
Wrong.
Wrong.
Today was also a day to take advantage of one of the many recreational opportunities the snowfall has to offer.
Actually, we're musicians, and we're going to use this to make some interesting songs with. So, yeah, no, we're hoping this will carry us down a slippery slope today. Yeah.
The snow also gives people an excuse to plop down on the sofa for an evening and watch a movie. Evidence of that at this Chestnut Hill video store.
It's been pretty crazy. I got here around 11, and it's been real busy.
But was it really the snow that had people coming in droves to rent a flick?
These are some videos I was going to get a couple of weeks ago, and I just decided to get them today.
Mere coincidence.
Right, that's exactly what it is.
This is no mere coincidence. The salt trucks were getting ready to hit the roads this afternoon. Even though, as you can see here on the Schuylkill Expressway near City Line Avenue, the roads really didn't need it yet. That has changed as you take a look at a live picture of Germantown Avenue here in Chestnut Hill. The snow is starting to accumulate on the roadways, giving drivers maybe a bit of trouble, but not too much right now. That, of course, could freeze overnight as the temperatures drop, so it looks like the salt trucks probably will have to make their way out today and tonight. I'm Matt O'Donnell reporting live on the Action Cam in Chestnut Hill.
Thank you, Matt. And more on that as the temperatures begin dropping. Motorists should be prepared for slippery driving conditions. Let's take a live picture now of the Blue Route from Sky 6. So far, we have no reported problems on the Blue Route or the Schuylkill Expressway tonight, but traffic on I-95 North is slowed near Woodhaven Road due to the PennDOT salt trucks helping us out by keeping that road clean. Slow there. Action News is also live now at Warner Road near the King of Prussia Mall. Motorists trying to reach their destinations here, moving along at a pretty good clip, and the road is pretty clear. Officials say that secondary roads, though, are starting to ice up as we speak, and motorists should exercise caution. Be very careful out there. So far, no mass transit delays, but the speed limit has already been reduced to 35 miles an hour on the New Jersey Turnpike between exits 1 and 3, and to 45 miles an hour between exits 3 and 11. The first serious snowfall created some wonderful winter scenes today. The snow-coated tree branches along West River Drive and throughout the tri-state region today. This weather was also being enjoyed by the birds. Action News caught up with a flock of geese that seemed right at home in the snow-covered field here in Plymouth Meeting. Still a highlight?
But we'll probably get there by tomorrow morning.
Watching this throughout the day, since this morning, John Belair is the first person to predict significant snow across the greater Philadelphia region. Not exactly a blizzard, but what's it like out there, John?
Oh, well, it's actually kind of pretty, Glenn, right now. It's a gentle snowfall. It's moderately coming down right now, and it looks nice. Although the main problem now, temperatures dropping, and things are going to get a little bit icy and icy. I'm going to take a little slide along the sidewalk here, because that's going to be the side roads. Probably just about now or a little bit later on tonight, I'm going to give it a little slide. And you can see things are starting to ice up just a little bit, and that will continue to be the problem tonight. Also, I do have my official, can we zoom in on that? That's an official NBC10 ruler. It's a fair, I'll get my hand out of the way. There it is. And we're going to make a measurement right out here outside our beautiful NBC10 studios. See how much snow we got. Okay. Very scientific approach. This is how you do it. A little over 4 inches right out here. So we're going to get, well, this would be considered a heavy snow event, Glenn, and temperatures dropping, so the snow will continue to come down and accumulate, and then we may get some icing problems, correct?
Yes, and obviously, just like last winter, 70% of our snow fell on weekends. Here we are again, the first significant snow. It falls on a weekend. Now, the good news has been that the temperature has been warm enough, like yesterday especially, got into the 40s. That has helped keep the roads warm. But look at the temperature right now. Outside, right where John was, NBC 10, right on Single Line Avenue, 27 degrees. Well, why isn't it icing up the roads? Well, partly because the roads have been warm and partly because they've been treated. The winds out of the north, the high at midnight 34, the low current 27, humidity 100%, barometer is steady. Now, across the region, we see temperatures below freezing everywhere, 29 in Wilmington, 26 in Doylestown. So with the nightfall, there will be a lot of slick roads, especially the side roads. Temperatures in the upper 20s to the low 30s, 36 degrees in Atlantic City, and the wind chills in the single digits in spots, 9 at the airport and 7 in Dover. Snow amounts have ranged from 1.5 to 5 inches, and there's another batch of heavier snow from Philadelphia points west, lighter snow back to West Virginia, so it'll be a while before the snow ends. You can see it spreading to the east, and there's the back edge, Western Virginia, parts of West Virginia, but there's a little band that goes back to Ohio. We may be in a part of that band even by tomorrow morning, and that's what the computer is suggesting. Tomorrow's weather today, right out of the computer, that dot, there's Philadelphia, 6 o'clock tonight, indicating the heaviest snow to our south. Right, the computer's a little bit too far to the south on this, so let's move that up a little bit. You can see the sharp edge between significant snow and no snow. Northeast winds keeping us cool. As the storm moves to the northeast, the heaviest snow is still south of the Philadelphia region, or just barely south, and nothing up near the New York border. Then by tomorrow morning, the storm is moving offshore, and finally, northerly winds clear us out tomorrow afternoon. What to expect? A total of 4 to 7 southern edges of Philadelphia into parts of central Jersey, 3 to 5 over much of the Philadelphia region, which has occurred in many areas, only to a coating to an inch near Allentown. The forecast for tonight looks like this: 2 to 4 inches more in this around the city, tapers off late tonight as temperatures go into the mid-20s. And again, roads are going to become pretty tricky, the untreated surfaces. Tomorrow, some more light snow or flurries in the morning, and then some sun in the afternoon when things start to melt, high temperatures getting above the freezing mark. 5-day forecast, the weather pattern has changed. Now we can get a little bit of snow. Monday looks dry, a couple snow flurries on Tuesday. Wednesday's dry, and then another southern storm may start to form on Thursday into Friday. And so, like I was saying last weekend, the weather pattern has changed, and now it is possible to snow in Philadelphia again.
Baltimore, as a matter of fact, in the last hour has reported heavy snow. How about that? All right, let's go back to the maps.
With the latest on the snow.
That's right, and we'll have to deal with the snow for about the next 5.5 hours. I know some people are happy about it, though. I saw a plow truck operator on City Line. He was waving, he was smiling. He's been waiting all season for this. Satellite 6 showing that we still have an upper level low to deal with. Essentially, the surface low is beginning to move out to sea now, but if you look at that swirl of white clouds moving into the Delaware Valley, that's the upper level low. This has to move east before we can get out of the snow, and that's going to take a while. Action radar showing the snow right now extending way over into Ohio, into West Virginia, down into Virginia, and the rain is staying well down to the south. It's cold enough that this is going to be a snow event. We're not talking about any changeover to rain. Once the system, though, moves out of here, we'll have drier air moving in probably around midnight. A possibility on and off throughout the early morning hours of a few snow showers, then things should be clearing. And actually, tomorrow is going to be a beautiful day. High pressure moving in. It's going to bring at least partly sunny conditions by the afternoon. Temperatures should be above freezing by the afternoon, so the kids will probably get very soggy when they're outside playing in the snow. Let's put this in perspective, though. In Philadelphia so far this year, including the snowfall we've been getting today, we're only measuring about 3 inches of snow. Last year at this time, we had this 12 times over, 36 inches, so I guess we can all count our blessings. The call from AccuWeather, though, for tonight, slipping and sliding. Please be careful. Roads are getting very treacherous. 36 was our high. That came in the early morning hours. Temperatures have been dropping throughout the afternoon. 30 was our low, which is our current condition, and right now temperatures pretty much just below freezing. Wilmington 29, Lancaster 28, Allentown 29, Trenton 30, and Cape May 31 degrees. Let's check out the situation. Route 202, this is live in the action cam around King of Prussia, where people are taking it slow since the roads are slick. Now let's check out the situation live in the action cam. Atlantic City could get 6 to 10 inches of snow at the Jersey Shore and Delaware. Right now in Philadelphia, 30 degrees with snow, humidity 92%, barometer 30.18, holding steady. Winds northerly at 15 miles an hour, gusting to 22, so the wind chill is 9. In Center City right now, let's go to the exclusive AccuWeather 5-day forecast. Snow continuing till about midnight, 24 for low. Tomorrow, partly sunny, 37. Monday, beautiful day, mostly sunny, 44. Tuesday, 39. Wednesday, a possibility of some snow, maybe Thursday. Let's not deal with that. Be careful tonight.
Satellite vantage point. You can see that area of low pressure blowing up off the coast here, and actually it's going to be moving up and out of the way very, very soon. By tomorrow morning, it's going to be totally out of the picture, so that's good news. Meanwhile, we are getting snow. I guess the other good side of this is that it's happening on the weekend. Most people are off. I know not all of you. I'm not off either, okay? Most people are off, not having to deal with it and not having to worry about the traffic problems and flight delays and that kind of thing. Snowing at Kennedy, snowing at LaGuardia, and snowing as far north as Logan International. The snow in Boston is very, very light. If you look on this, you can see it's very light pale green, okay? A little farther to the south in places like Baltimore, now just outside of Baltimore, it's darker green. That's where we have seen some bursts of heavier snow. Talk about heavier snow. We have seen as much as 6 to 8 inches of snow, some of the higher elevations of West Virginia and Virginia. Now, that heavier snow is moving on up the coastline. Looks like New York City may get by with about 3 inches of snow. Same thing for Connecticut, 1 to 3. Some folks will just get a dusting. Some folks get about 3. You know what we're talking about. And obviously tonight, we want you to exercise extreme caution if you're walking on the sidewalk, or perhaps you have some stairs up to your apartment. It could get a little bit icy, and we don't want you falling on your weekend. All right, let's show you what else is happening across the country. And